Well, it seems the offers are rolling in for the Walt Disney Company from a couple of different places this week for ABC, as well as FX and National Geographic, all the linear broadcast channels, the traditional cable channels of the Walt Disney Company. This from Byron Allen. $10 billion provided a few key things. Media entrepreneur Byron Allen has made a $10 billion bid to buy Disney's ABC network and assets, including the FX and Nat Geo cable channels. Disney has also held exploratory discussions about selling ABC to a regional station operator called Nexstar. The discussions come after Disney CEO Bob Iger said in July the company could sell some of its traditional assets, which have struggled for years due to the rise of streaming services. Now, specifically what Allen is looking for in his $10 billion bid for these assets is a net EBITDA, or an earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. In other words, what is the profitability, let's call it, of those enterprises? He's looking for an annual profit of about $1.25 billion. But of course, we really can't tell what that is right now. And that's primarily because those assets are not really broken out per se. As you can see here, the total revenue for linear networks at the Walt Disney Company in the most recently reported fiscal quarter was $6.69 billion, a reduction of 7% from a year ago due to advertising drop-off. But if you look year to date, $20 billion total in revenues. But if we look down at operating income, we see a figure right there of $4.972 billion year to date as of July 1st, 2023, the end of the third fiscal quarter for Disney. So a lot of people might stop right there and say, well, then certainly Byron Allen has already met his mark. The problem, of course, with that is that would also include things that he's not going to be purchasing, like the entire family of ESPN. And those big revenues from ESPN and where the bulk of live sports is broadcast for the Walt Disney Company, well, that's making up a significant chunk of that operating income that we just showed you. But then it gets even more complicated. As Bob Iger said before, he's not interested in getting rid of live sports with Disney. That is one of the core pieces of content, as he said, during that interview back in July on CNBC. So then what of the live sports that are currently being broadcast on ABC? Would they be transferred in an active sale to somebody like Byron Allen for $10 billion? I think Byron Allen would be counting on the fact that, yes, it would, because that's the biggest headline piece for ABC. But if Bob Iger's planning on keeping live sports, at least all the contracts that Disney currently has, home as core content, well, then his offer of $10 billion is probably going to drop considerably. There's just way too many questions out there right now because we don't even know exactly what Disney has in mind, what things that they do broadcast now on ABC would actually follow the distribution out the door. Yeah, Disney can sell ABC and its other owned affiliates, things like ABC New York and ABC Los Angeles that Disney still holds, and definitely they're worth a good bit of money, but they may not be worth as much as what Byron Allen is offering right now if Disney removes the most lucrative content broadcast rights from those channels themselves and keeps them at Disney. But we're going to talk about all of this today on the live show. Make sure you stick around. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be going through this and a bunch of other stories that came out this week, including Disney changing the landscape in streaming with their new deal with places like Charter and Spectrum, and I guarantee you there will be many more to come that are going to look just like it. We could be looking at a very different streaming dynamic in just a few years. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We hope to see you this afternoon, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Valliant Renegade. And until then, take care.